You have 5 mounting screws, 1, 2, and 3. Those are going to be long screws, and then you have 2 of the same size, one on the outer panel and one on the interior door handle bezel. I'll start here first. Phillips screwdriver. Now you have body trim pieces that go all the way around the edge. So you can use a plastic trim tool or your hand and just grab and pull and have them all pop out. Now you can just grab the panel firmly, and it's riding right here on the window trim. So you're just going to pull up and slide, and off it comes. Once you've exposed the handle rods, the lock and the entry, you're going to take your thumb, push that plastic over, lift the rod up. The same with this one, and then lift the rod down. Now we see the electrical connectors for the main switch. I'm just going to push on that tab, wiggle it out. Same with the top. Now we can get the panel out of the way. To dismount the main window switch from the driver's door panel, once you take the panel off, you'll have access to the 3 mounting screws, Phillips head screwdriver. We're just going to take this off. This one's a bit of an angle. Let's get the top one first. So I just moved over to a manual screwdriver just to get in there a little bit easier. We should be good to go. Once you can remove that. There we go. Just lift the whole switch out. Make sure you don't lose the screw. And there it is. Now with a razor, I'm going to cut away at the access. This is one of the mounting bolts for the regulator. You know, I have 2 down here, but I have to cut this hole open too because I need to get the regulator out and go this way. So with a razor blade, I'm going to remove all of this insulation. And I'm just going to see if I can get to the mounting bolts. And there they are. First thing I'm going to do is 10mm socket. I'm going to unmount the glass from the regulator, then I'm going to slide her up and hold it up there so it doesn't come down like a guillotine. So nice little 10mm socket. Break these free. And hopefully that glass is sitting on the little knob that's on the back of this regulator, so it does have a seat to it. There we go. Now I have actual glass suction cups, but you can use masking tape, duct tape. Masking tape comes cleaner. Duct tape sticks, the glue stays, but for best results, definitely use something that is going to stop that window from coming down. Okay, now we can go back down. Glass is held up. And I'm going to dismount this top screw, 10mm socket. You don't have to take it all the way out because it has a slot for it to slide through. I'm going to take it all the way out only because it's just better out of the way. Same with the 2 bottom mounting, 10mm socket. Take these nuts off. There's 2 more right here. So the regulator goes up and down, 2 mounting bolts on the bottom, 1 on the top, and then the actual motor has 3 mounting bolts, 1, 2, and then 3. And then the 2 regulator bottom ones. I'm going to leave that 1 in so it holds the regulator in place. And now I can put my hand in here, slide that up. So the cable has a sheathing in it and it has a little clip on it. You'll see it right here. And I'm just going to reach my hand up in there and take that right out. There we go. Now we have movement. We can grab this motor. I see another clip right here. See this clip? That's holding the harness to that motor. So I'm just going to pull it through. Here we go. Now we can see the motor connector a lot better. Here we go. So you're going to take this lock. Sometimes you can use your finger or just a pocket screwdriver. Snap it aside. Pull down on this tab. There she is. So I'm going to grab the end of the cable sheathing. I'm going to try to manipulate that out first so that the motor will follow. There we go. Now we have to follow it with the regulator. And then just, there you go. So I'm going to remove the shipping plastic that goes on these mounting threads. Get that out of the way. And then I'm going to transfer over that one screw that I left in, one bolt. I'm going to transfer over the one bolt I left in. So when I assemble it, I can hold it in place inside that door. Just want to snug it by hand. There you go. Now we're going to transfer over this plastic clip. This should be just a lock like that. And we're just going to reattach it to where it goes. And it slides around freely, so just lock it down. It should snap into place. That's about the general space that we're going it for. Now let's put it back in. Reverse procedure, so I'm going to put the metal in first. Then I can bring this down. Just like that. Now the regulator goes on the front side of that sheathing. Okay. If you look down here, you'll see that mounting bolt that I left in. Let's put it in the front hole there and slide it. I'll put the top one in next. And then the last bottom one. Just starting them all by hand so they can all line up. There we go. Now we get the motor floating around in here, but I want to connect this first. Put the lock on. So with a flathead screwdriver, you'll lift the top tab and the back tab off, and it slides right out. Remount it on the new switch. Make sure it locks in. I'll bring that right around inside here. That was connected right here on this little hole in the door panel. Just give it a push through. Now we can grab that motor, line up the bolt holes. There's 3 of them. Now the sheathing is going to go on the inside here, under the regulator. So not on that side of the regulator, but on this side of the regulator. And you'll know because you'll feel that the motor won't go into place unless that sheathing's in the right spot. Now we're going to put on the 3 motor nuts. That's all lined up in place. Take our 10mm socket and we'll tighten these up. Once I have them snug, I'm just going to give them one quick tighten. Now I'm going to close that up and go over to the regulator bottom. Give them a good snug. I'll go to the top. Now we can put our arm inside here, find that sheathing and that plastic clip that we attached, and just manipulate it to go down into the mounting hole right here. And there we go. Just push it right through and let it lock. Now we're going to put the key in the on position again. just power on so we can bring this regulator down so we can mount the glass. Perfect, right there. You want to have access to that. Turn the key off. Now we're going to do our suction cups here. If you use masking tape, either way, peel that off and we're going to guide the glass down and have it seat right in the holder. Try to keep a hand on the glass because it will slide right down like a guillotine. You want to guide it, keep it in the track. And you can see right here, your mounting assembly will come down. There it is. Now with the glass lined up on the regulator, your 2 gold bolts here, make sure that's seated right. Hand start them. And because it's glass, we're just going to be really delicate when we tighten that. You want to just make sure that glass is all the way pushed back into that rear regulator. That'll make it open and close without any gap. I'm just bottoming out the screws, and I'm going to give it a real faint tightening. Okay. I'm going to put the key on and let's test it before we put the panel back. So before I assemble the door panel, after I do a window regulator, I always like to spray a little silicone spray in the rubber guide because it will just make it smoother in the future, and here on the regulator, just so it goes up and down smoother. Try not to get any on the motor, and I do not use white lithium because that only collect dirt and really make a paste. So now we can put our insulation back the way we found it, and I'm going to use some like tape to tape this up. I can see someone else has previously done that. They've been in here. Make sure those rods are going to be able to move smoothly. We don't want them to be stuck. I'm just going to apply some duct tape. You just want to keep the air from making too much noise. Let the insulation do its job. Okay, now let's put now we can take our window switch disconnected again so we can get ready to put the panel back on. So line up everything, goes single mounter goes on the top, 2 on the bottom. I'm going to put it in by hand, that way I know it doesn't break any plastic ears. There you go, nice and snug in. Done. Now we're ready to plug our main switch back in. So now we're ready to put our panel back on. Let's connect our main switch again. Hear it click. So now we're going to connect our lock and our inner handle rod to the door latch. So you just line it up. They're pretty self-explanatory because one clip is going down, one's going up. Just make sure they're not too entwined. There we go. Let's slide this over, lock it in. Now we can hook up the top lip in the glass guide. Let it slide down. And we're going to put all the plastic pins right into place. That's good. So we have 5 mounting bolts. The 3 large ones go in the handles down here. The other 2 mount here on the outside of the door panel and here on the interior door handle. Those are the 2 smaller screws. So I'll take the 3 large ones and I'm going to start from the middle and work my way out. Once it's all together, you can confirm that your window regulator works. Nice.